everyone, Marion Emberson here, showing you a nice simple but effective card with a resist technique on it. So I'm going to be using some of my new stamps from Personal Impressions, and I decided that when I'd done this heart, it's quite a sketchy heart, that it would actually make a nice flower. So I thought I'd do it off the side, and I'm really into just sort of like throwing a little bit of colour on there at the moment. So I literally done this off the cuff, so as you see it progress, that's exactly how I saw it progress. I didn't do one beforehand or anything, so I hope you like it. So what I'm doing, first of all, I've taken the heart and I'm inking it up with the WOW Clear Embossing ink pad, and I'm going to stamp it down, just coming off of the side of the card, and I'm going to do that in the centre, and then I'm going to ink up again. This time go to the side. I want to get 3, let's call them petals, heart petals, on there, and you can just see where the ink is, so you can line it up quite easily. So when you're happy with where they are, then you can take your clear powder, and I'm just using the WOW Clear Regular here, and I'm just going to throw that all over. So sprinkle it all on, cover it, and then shake off the excess. You can see it a bit clearer now. And then, like I always, put it back in the pot once I've finished, because I always have accidents otherwise. And then we're going to heat set this. When I heat set it, I generally always sort of speed it up, because you don't want to see me just sort of standing there with a heat gun. But it doesn't take long. It's the same old thing. Once you see it turn, just move it along. Don't keep overdoing it, but you do want to make sure that it is all done, okay? Because if you've got bits that aren't done, then it's not going to work so well. So you can see that nice and clearly on there now. And now I'm going to add some colour to it. And I'm going to use a couple of Versamark ink pads, Versamagic, I beg your pardon, Versamagic, because not anything in particular, because it's Versamagic, because it's a chalk ink. I just really liked these two colours together. So the first one I'm using here is Oasis Green. So I've just sort of stamped that onto my mat, and then I've just added some water. And you want to make it sort of wet, but not overly wet. But you want to do it enough so that it's going to move on your brush. And then just swoosh it over in one position like that. You could fill the hearts in, you could do it any way you liked. I just decided to do some swooshes. And then the second colour I'm using is Pink Petunia. So again, just add a bit more water. You can see if there's enough on there, it just makes some little puddles. And fill your brush up with it. And again, just swoosh over. It's a very, very soft pink, this one. It's very nice. And I thought, seeing as we're supposed to be going into spring now, soon, I thought like the pink and green went quite nice together. Although I am saying this on a very grey, dull day outside, but you know, this brightened my day up. So what you want to do now is take a baby wipe, and can you see those petals have just sort of popped there, because that takes away any of the ink that was on there. And because I've applied water and ink, I'm just going to give it a little zap with the gun. And the reason I go both sides is because that flattens it out again for me. Once you've applied water onto a card, it can warp. So you want to just sort of flatten it back out again. So what I'm going to do now, I'm picking up my brush and that colour again, and then I'm just sort of flicking it. And then this is just going to add tiny little dots of colour to it, so it just gives it a little bit more of an interest in there. And again, I'm wiping it off the petals, because I don't want it on the petals on there. So now I've finished with my watercolour, so I can just get rid of that. And then I'm gonna, well, I was deciding what to put on there, so I just thought like a nice little sentiment. So in that set, there's the Love You. So I really like the way this is done. So the love is in quite a nice scripty font, and then the U is nice and straight. So I've just taken the Oasis Green and then inked that up. And because I'm using this for the very first time from this stamp set, I've just stamped it on a scrap of paper just to make sure that it's all covered, it's all going to come out all right. So I'm just going to stamp it down nice and firm, and I don't push too hard because otherwise that'll distort it. And that's come out lovely. And then clean me little stamp with a baby wipe. And then I thought to myself, I don't know, do you know what? I think it needs just a little bit more. So in this set, I've done some really little tiny hearts. There goes one, it just fell off. And I think that was my prompt then. I thought, no, do you know what? Maybe I'm meant to use that. So I took the tiny little heart, and this one I have used, and I'm just going to put it to the side, just stamp it off a little bit. And I sort of looked at that and I thought, yeah, no, I like that. And I was going to put it all away, and I sort of looked at it again and I thought, no, do you know what? It needs a little bit more. So, and this is the nice thing with card making, you can just keep building on it, but just learn to know when to stop, because it is easy to just carry on. So I decided to take that little heart stamp again. I love how tiny this little heart is. And then I'm just going to mirror it on the other side and then just stamp it down. There we go. And I think that just sort of finishes it off quite nicely. So I could add glitter and things like that to this, but I decided not to. I just thought, because of it's quite a plain card, it's a one layer card. So I decided to actually put it onto a black folded card to give it a bit of a border and a bit of oomph around the edge. So in my last video, I don't know if you remember, I came out a camera shot. I was showing how to get this easy lift tape off. Just tear it down the middle. So just give it a tear and then pull it either side. And it's just one of the best ways to get the easy lift tape off if you struggle with it. Because a lot of people will go in from one side on the easy lift, and that's not the way to do it. So yeah, I like to do it that way. I find it very easy. And then I'll open my card out. I always do 10th fold. Position it on. When I'm happy, then I'll just stick it down nice and firmly. And it really is just as simple as that. It's a very, very quick and simple card. So thanks for watching, guys. Glad you could join me. Take care. Bye.